What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Infinite Gains back again with another AMC and GME update. So this is gonna be, I guess, kind of a longer video because we're gonna be going over a lot of different stuff. So just sit down and lock in. And before I get into all that stuff, make sure to join the Discord. Links in the comments and the bio description. All that jazz. So let's get into it. So we're going to be going over GME first. As you can see here, we are in this 4-hour channel. If we go drop down to the 4 hours, you are in a 4-hour channel. It's pretty easy to see. You have broken your triangle here. You've already broken out. And you're still in the channel, so you're fine. So basically, what you want to see, going into next week, is you want to see us break out of this channel. Which is what's going to happen is you're going to break this 20 SMA. You're going to break this 20 SMA. You're going to break out of the channel, and then you're going to shoot up to the 50. This is your 50 SMA. Right here at this orange line. So and this 20 SMA is actually pretty important. We've bounced off of it several times, but look at this. I mean, you may think it's just like, oh, is this the 20 SMA? Who gives a shit? This 20 SMA can start MOASS. You see there, you kind of bounce off that 20, and you just, like it's a pretty big deal. What do you see here? Oh, bouncing off the 20. You're bouncing off the 20 and 50. So this 20 SMA is like a pretty big deal. You may think it's not, but that's what I've been kind of saying. I was like, you have to test. That's why we're testing that 20 SMA so much. It's like once you break that, I mean, you could start some volatility to the upside, because then probably what's going to happen is you're going to shoot up to your 50 SMA, and you're going to be able to break that, and then you can start some real volatility. Why is that? Okay, well, let's go back to the daily. So if you shoot up to your 50 SMA, that's going to give you some room to shoot up to the midline. The midline that you see here in this channel, which is at $30. Now, what is at $30? So we're looking at this indicator on the screen right here. By Chart Prime. They actually make some really cool indicators, but this one is it's a linear regression oscillator, right? It's an oscillator. So it basically just uses so you take some kind of defined period of candlesticks, right? And then you apply regression analysis, and it's basically, just think about it as like a mean reversion. So we've all kind of seen that graph where you have a bunch of dots. You have a bunch of dots everywhere on the graph, and then there's like a line that goes straight through it. I mean, that's basically what you kind of have to think. It's literally just that, but you're using price history to kind of identify the mean of the price, right? And so what this does is this identifies points of overbought and oversold territories, and then what does that kind of signal? It signals a trend reversal is what you're kind of looking for. And then what does this also do? Well, it actually points out invalidation zones. So you have invalidations. So you went into overbought territory, and then you invalidated this zone at $14, and then what do you see? We actually started flagging right there, and then you shot up, and then you got some volatility. So that's actually a bullish thing if you break these invalidation zones. So what could happen going into next week is you break out of this 4-hour channel, you shoot up to that 50 SMA, and then you have permission. This says the invalidation's at 28.40, but really I think it's at this midline here at $30. So what could happen is you could shoot up to $30, and then boom, you start getting some volatility. So like this this $30 break is like very, very important, because it's a, I mean, you saw that we had a resistance there at $30 right here. I mean, almost exact. So this is a very important, $30 is very, very important to break, because once that $30 area breaks, your 20 and your 50 are going to start coming up, and then you can start actually seeing some volatility come back into the stock. So, and then at that point, you've probably initiated MOASS. I'm going to be real. Like, that's literally what it's going to look like. You're going to break that 20 SMA, and then you're going to be able to shoot up to at least the 50. And then really once that $30 breaks, like, you're like, volatility is coming back into the stock. So that's GME. Just pay attention to that channel. You can actually see it on the daily too. Look at that. That's pretty beautiful, is it not? On the daily. I mean, it's pretty simple. But not only that, it's actually kind of this. We actually did hit the 200 SMA in pre-market. So if you do that, you do this little breakout. So that'll take you above that. That'll take you above that 50 SMA. So yeah, I mean, if you see that breakout, probably all hell is gonna break loose on GME. Let's look at AMC. So let's look at this one first, right? So basically, and this is not a coincidence. This is not a coincidence that you have your invalidation zone right here. And where is it at? It's at AMC's midline. Like, the invalidation zone isn't accurate. I'm just going off like this. I just want you to understand, like, when volatility can come in is when you have this trend reversal, right? And past the $6 zone. I'm not like, I don't need the indicator to know that whenever you break $6, whenever you break $30, you're going to see volatility coming. I'm just trying to show you, like, where the invalidation zone is at, and it's at this midline here. It's at the midline of this channel. And once you break this fucking midline, you are shooting the fuck up. Like, I don't like, my bad for cursing, but I'm trying to get this, like, this thing is gonna explode on you, okay? Like, okay, I'm gonna be real. Is there a bearish, is there kind of a bearish scenario that could play out? Absolutely. I'm not gonna show it because nothing bearish has happened yet, but I mean, I will keep you updated. There is a bearish scenario that could play out, but I'm not gonna. It's nothing has happened yet to where I should show that to you yet. Anyway, so we're gonna see volatility pick up out of the $6 mark. So, and you see how coiled up your SMAs are? That's not a coincidence. I mean, like, we've been tracking this for weeks. It's not a coincidence. Like, trust me, this shit is not it's not. You're gonna snap up above that 200 once you break out of this pennant. And then really it starts once you break this midline at $6. That's when it really starts. That's when you really can shoot up. And then, like, for macro levels, right? Yeah, look at this trend line, right? This trend line here from the 2021 run up, it actually lines up with this. So you actually found support at it right here. So that's not a coincidence either. But basically, you're going to be able to shoot up to this trend here of our 3 long distribution, and that's at $20. You're gonna shoot up to $20, and then once that point breaks, then you can start hitting these crazy targets. You're gonna gap fill at $50 mark, and then if we change our simple moving averages to the weekly, go weekly, and then weekly. Your 200 weekly SMA is at $70 or around it's around $70, $68, $69. You're going to shoot up to that 200 SMA. I mean, I can almost promise you that shit. That you will test if you break that $20 point, you will hit the 200 SMA. I guarantee that shit. Like, I don't care. Come back and watch this video. I don't give a shit. If you break this midpoint at $20, you will hit your 200 SMA. I'm gonna just tell you that shit right now. For more like macro targets, I would just, you know, watch some of my previous videos. It's kind of like it's honestly, yeah, I mean, that's a decent kind of humble price target, is it not? That's a pretty humble price target. If you break $20 and you go hit the 200 SMA, it's not too shabby. But if you want something to play out like it did in 2021, what will actually happen is you're gonna overshoot. You're gonna overshoot your 200 and then hit the top of this channel right here, just like you did in 2021. You hit the midline of this channel, which actually, if you hit the midline of the same channel, that would take you to $240, $250, right? If you hit the midline, if you hit the midline of this channel right here, that takes you from here. Now, then what could happen? Like, you would come. Damn, that's a pretty it's a pretty nasty drop. You'd probably get some crazy volatility. Yeah, but then be able to like kind of launch higher like that. So yeah, it would look something like that. That's for crazy price targets. Humble price target. You're targeting $20, and then you're gonna target the 200 SMA at this red line here around $70. So that's GME, AMC. Let's go to AMC 5 minutes. Yeah, let me delete all this stuff real quick, because we do not need this. We can delete all this, but AMC 5 minutes, pretty interesting. Oh, okay. Almost messed up. I almost started deleting stuff I don't want to delete. Okay, let's go to the 5 minutes. So this is AMC 5 minute chart. We can turn off this indicator. We don't need it anymore. Boom, turn that indicator off. So this is AMC 5 minute. We need to change our SMAs back to the daily chart. So we'll go to the 1 day, 1 day, 1 day, and 1 day. So boom, we zoom in. We are still kind of in this channel here, bouncing around. Nothing to really worry about here. And your 20 SMA and your 50 SMA are 1 cent apart. And your 200. They're all, like, look at this. They are all 1 cent apart. And when I tell you the 20 SMA and 50 SMA crossing above the 200 is so fucking bullish. Look, I guarantee you, when that happens, okay, it may not be immediate, right? It may not be immediate, but I guarantee you, in the weeks to come, you will see bullish price action. Like, you will see bullish price action. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like, it's not like it's some real shit. But you are still independent. So hopefully going into next week, you will be able to bounce, right, and then shoot up above, and then this will bring your 20 and your 50 above that 200, and then you'll pretty much be able to shoot up to that 550 mark, and then be able to test the $6, and then once that $6 zone breaks, volatility will come back into the stock, and you'll see a pretty huge break to the upside. So yeah, just like literally just pay attention to those SMAs, pay attention to that $6 break. So $6 break on AMC and $30 break on GME. So let's look at SPY, and look, I'm gonna come back to AMC actually and show you a little bonus thing at the end of the video. So this is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin actually got 2 rejections, as you can see from, if we turn off, let's turn that off. You can see that it got 2 rejections from its 200 SMA. So you have 2 rejections. That's not good. So I mean, this is very simple channels. As you can see here, you have 2 very simple channels here that are in play, and you caught the top. Boom, you got a rejection right at the top of this channel. So where are you heading? Oh, you bounce at the midline of this channel. You bounce at the midline of this channel that I've been showing you. Like, it's really, really simple shit. So what could happen? I mean, if this 200 continues to be resistance, I mean, you look at Bitcoin's price history. Like, when you start breaking below that 200, boom, like, you're done. Oh, you break above that 200. Oh, you start mooning. So we have two rejections. So what do you like? I don't know how you're bullish here. Like, below the 200, but if you're below the 200, you cannot be bullish on Bitcoin. I don't give a shit. Now, if we start breaking above, okay, something else can happen. But right now, you're below the 200. You should not be bullish. You just shouldn't be bullish on Bitcoin. Let's take these SMAs off and let's put on the support band. So this is compromised of the 20 and 21 weekly EMA and SMA, and you're getting a rejection from your support bands. So this thing could head much lower. If you break this midline here, right? If you break this midline, you come here. Yep, you're shooting down to the bottom of this channel. So that's literally just what's gonna happen with Bitcoin if we stay below that 200 SMA. So this is SPY. We have a channel with SPY right here, as you can kind of see there. And I already put this in the Discord. I put an update on SPY. If we go down to the 5 minutes, and then we can turn off all these indicators. Boom, boom, boom. Turn off all these indicators. And I already made this in the Discord. Let me just remake it real quick. So you do have this in the short term. So we are on the 5 minutes. We have this kind of curved little channel that we have here, like this. And that's pretty simple, right? And we had a breakout. And so you can do something like, let me go back to the brush. So I mean, I posted this right here in the Discord that we were going to shoot out of this little curvature. So you come up, you make this like flagging pattern, and then you can probably make your way to this 564 point, which if you zoom out on the 4 hour is trend resistance, right? You see trend resistance right here on the 4 hour. And that's actually where you broke down. So you broke down, you came up, retested, had that huge dump. You're going to come up and retest at about 564 and then possibly dump. If you can try to work your way back into the channel, I don't see it happening, right? Because you're just too overbought, right? And we had this huge recovery. Like, you have to think that was a huge dump. So like, we dumped all the way to 500, and you already have a 50-point recovery. That's a pretty huge recovery with no retrace. I mean, you're probably going to hit that 564 point and then start churning back down. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the whole video. Things are looking very good going into next week. Just pay attention for GME, that channel, and that $30 break. AMC, pay attention to the SMAs. They're so freaking close. Pay attention to that pennant break and $6. I mean, like, and it's really just that simple. Yep, I mean, it's just like, this thing is ready to pop, man. This thing is ready to pop. There's really just no other way to kind of look at it. Yeah, I mean, this thing is just ready to blow up, and we're like, structurally looking at Bitcoin and GME, it's like you're just ready to blow up. AMC, I would pay attention to this channel break here, right? The short-term channel. That's going to be important because we're at the bottom of it right now. So if you start getting a bullish Monday, I mean, your SMAs are going to cross. They're 1 cent. They're 1 cent apart. So if you break out of this channel, like, if you have some upside movement, it's probably GG's. It's probably GG's from there. So I don't know. It's just like, you look at GME and AMC, and it's like they look ready. I mean, if you start seeing some bullish price action coming up in Monday and Tuesday or Wednesday. I mean, like, I don't know. I think you're in a 2-week zone, like a high probability setup zone, in the next 2 weeks of, hey, maybe it's not MOASS, but like some pretty substantial like upside is like coming. But yeah, pay attention to this little channel here that we're in, and this is something that could play out. You have this little thing below the channel break, and so you get a little something like this. Oh, back in, and then you start mooning from there. So that's pretty much the whole video. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the Discord. I'll see you guys in the, like, if you're not in the Discord, then like, what are you doing? You know, you can chat with me, you can talk with me, and we have a nice little community there, and it's absolutely free. So yeah, that's the whole video. Appreciate you guys for watching. I know it was a little long-winded, but thanks for sticking it out with me. And hey, we're just waiting for MOASS.